Am I invisible? Do I matter? Do my feats matter? Why don't I matter? Why can't I be as good as others? These are the questions that I, Taylor Gitonga, author of the novel The Portal in the Pantry that I have with me today, have asked myself each day, each hour, each minute, each second when confronted with my own reality. Was I truly deserving of the fame, the success? Had I truly done something worthy of either of these gifts? Had it been a year ago, I would say no. But today, standing here upon this stage, this luminescent light shining down upon me, I now know that answer is a yes. A brilliant, beautiful, resounding yes. I wrote a book at 12. How cool is that? I published a book at 12. How wonderful is that? It was when I finally came to terms with this beautiful gift of intelligence of which I had been bestowed that I realized I could help and inspire people who looked like me. People who, as the world put it, couldn't do the things we did. Wouldn't do the things we did. Bias, ladies and gentlemen, and all others in the audience. Bias is what directly keeps minds like mine, Black minds, from reaching their fullest potential. Bias hinders our motivation, our cultivation of the powerful garden that is our cognitive potential. But why does bias matter? What significance does it hold in a story that, as I've put it, works directly in spite of bias? Like any story, mine had many highs, but also many lows. Lows brought about by the poisonous snake that is bias in the minds of peers, adults, and society. Like a lethal gas, bias lingers in the air of which we breathe. Bias is what clogs the night sky and hides the luminescence of the bright stars. Bias, so you see, is the looming threat that has already influenced us all. And we can say that, in the words of Beverly Daniel Tatum, PhD, it is the unconscious judgment of our brains, produced with very little conscious thought. The entirety of my life, I've been questioned on the validity of my achievements, something that peaked when I published my first book. Though I feel it had much to do with my age, I also feel it had to do with the color of my skin, something that was proven to me by the things that parents have said. I never would have guessed you were Black, one parent said in reference to my numerous awards, achievements, and abilities. People like me aren't meant to succeed. That's what that parent inherently said. People like me aren't meant to be smart or articulate or intelligent. People like me aren't meant to want to make something of themselves. If you've seen television or movies or any form of media really, you'll understand the plethora of damage done towards the perception of Black community, especially Black people. We're misconstrued as aggressive, rude, far too focused upon promiscuity and, God forbid, drugs to even consider excelling in school. I should not have to tell you that these stereotypes are wrong, and they still do pervasive damage within the minds of the Black community, who they can be and who they are. There is no specific way to be Black, same way there is no specific way to be white, but stereotypes in media tell a completely different story, a story that I fought all my life to reject, a story that I hope all of you will fight your lives to reject. In the terms of psychology, we can say that Black children tend to base their entire identity off of the Black cultural frame, in a sense. This being that they internalize the stereotypes that they see in media and TV, and that is who they become, and that is who they are. They become the promiscuous and rude and aggressive people that we misconstrue Black people to be all of the time. They become the stereotypes. But those who don't, what happens to those who don't? People like me, people who don't want to be the stereotype. We're cast aside, told that we're too white for the Black community, but too Black for the white community. And because of that, we don't have a place. We're anomalies, in a sense. I'm an anomaly in all terms of the world, something that stuck with me, something that permeated my mind and my thought processes, every neuron, every pore, absorbed by the self-hatred and self-doubt that came with knowing that I didn't have a place, that I didn't have a home to go to because I was different from everybody else, and I was always going to be different. My skin, my hair, my nose, my lips, my ears, everything was a reminder that I was Black, and that was a bad thing because the world told me that because I was Black, I wasn't capable. That because I was Black, I was only the stereotypes and nothing more. And that stuck with me. let me tell you a story. Once upon a time, I knew a girl. Let's call her Girl X. Girl X hated me. She hated everything about my culture, everything about my blackness, the food that we ate, my ethnicity, the way that I spoke, everything about my person she despised. And yet, I still loved and cherished her like a dear friend. Do I know why? Not entirely, but I think I just wanted a friend. I wanted a place to belong, and I thought that she gave me that. But Girl X made me realize something. It's that I don't have to seek the validation of others. I shouldn't have to seek the validation of others. I am the one who's responsible for who I am and who I become, and that is what I had to learn. But how did I do it? There's something called self-affirmation, something called telling yourself that you are good enough, telling yourself that you are capable, and telling yourself that you do belong. You'll find a community to belong in someday or another. That is what I had to remember. I had to remember that I just had to believe in myself, that I had to know that I was capable, that I had to know that I was smart, to know that I was more than the stereotypes, that I was more than what the world told me. And in that, I was able to find strength. So today, what I want you to take from this TED Talk is that you are more than what the world tells you you are. You are capable, and you are smart, and you are intelligent, and you can breathe life into everything you touch. And yet, even if the world tells you you can't, you can, because you don't need validation from others. I had to learn that, and you can learn that too. So, as a final statement, in the words of Amanda Gorman, you are not the lightning of gold in a pan that strikes once. You are the flood of insight, of knowledge, of technology that floods the town in a beautiful surge. You are Black, and you are enough. Thank you.